Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I'd like to talk, find out what's happening out there when it comes to some of the best business practices. We love to get our friend on, Lance Malone, who is with a great company called Standard Supply, and they do a fantastic job when it comes to helping people, helping companies, if you will, when it comes to their AC and heater needs. And you work with some of the finest retailers and companies throughout the state, don't you?
We sure do, Kevin. We got one of them here with us today.
Awesome.
I'm glad to be here again. And Standard Supply is a distributor of heating, air conditioning, refrigeration, and ventilation products. We've been helping contractors be more successful and profitable since 1946. And we're thrilled to have Dwayne Ehlert, Vice President of A.J. Warren Service Company, on the air with us today. We're going to talk about the importance of quality ductwork for your air conditioning and heating system. But first, I'd like to give Dwayne a chance to introduce their company.
Yeah. Welcome, Dwayne.
Good morning. A.J. Warren Service Company has been in business for 40 years, and I think we've got one of the best reputations anywhere. We're a solutions-based company instead of, we don't try to sell anybody anything we feel, and this started with Jay Warren and his philosophies back in the 70s when he took over the company. We just want to help people. So we want to listen to our customers and figure out what's the best thing for them in their situations.
Very good. Very good. How long have you been with the company?
Since 1980.
There you go. All right, Lance, your first question.
Well, Kevin, many contractors that come into the home to do replacement don't even look at the ductwork. Ductwork's kind of out of sight, out of mind. It's in the attic most of the time, or maybe the crawl space if you have an older home that's pier and beam. But I wanted Dwayne to tell us about the different types of ductwork and how and where they're applied to get started.
Well, residentially, duct systems used to all be pretty much metal with external insulation, and that's still the type of duct system we recommend to our customers. They're pretty much twice as efficient as a flexible duct system. Flexible ductwork was brought in the commercial business because they gave them a way to hook to last few feet of the ducts, the branch ducts, to where they'd hit the ceiling grids and such. And then everyone got these great ideas. Oh, we'll put all this flex duct in there because it's easy to install. And the whole industry has suffered a lot for that. We like using flex duct as a sound attenuation thing on the last few feet, but we prefer metal duct with external insulation.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of transformation going on, particularly in the whole AC industry and the heating industry. How important is this going to be from a cost savings for homeowners? Have you begun to measure that kind of impact?
Having a quality duct system is one of the best investments a homeowner can make. We typically see about a 25% annual return on the investment when you take a average duct system, which is in usually pretty lousy situation, poorly designed and in pretty poor condition. Fiberglass insulation on ductwork only lasts about 15 years, and it needs to be replaced. And that's why we really hate seeing flexible ducts being built into crawl spaces and in between floors on these two-story homes and stuff like that. But it's all over the city, and it's really bad. But people. You spend a lot less money on a duct system than you do on a system, and you'll typically see about a 25% savings in your heating and cooling costs for that. And so that gives you a much better return than actually replacing your equipment.
Yeah, Dwayne, I wanted to ask, what kind of ductwork problems could exist that the homeowner might not even know about?
Well, most people really don't know what their system is doing. Every system is rated at moving 400 CFMs per ton of capacity, and very few systems out there are doing that. I saw one study that said 90% of the systems that are installed in Houston, Texas, are not working at near their rated efficiencies and/or capacities, and almost all of those problems have to do with the air side of things, the ductwork. Systems have to have enough air movement to have at least 4 air changes per hour in the house, 4 to 6 air changes per hour. You want to have certain velocities in your ductwork to make sure that you can get the air to the farthest runs before the thermostat satisfies, and that's where most systems fail. Most people are afraid, say static pressure, it's too much static pressure, you're going to have an inefficient system, but static pressure is required to move the air. And if you don't do your total equivalent links when you're doing that design and figure out exactly what your static pressure is supposed to be for a duct system, it's never going to perform properly.
Hey, Lance, for your next question, I do want to mention that you can learn more about this company by going to ajwarrenservice.com. AJ Warren, that's WARREN service.com. Go ahead, Lance.
Thank you, Kevin. What are some of the indications that a homeowner might have that they have a ductwork issue? You know, they don't really know much about ductwork typically, so what are some signs they've got a ductwork problem?
One is uneven temperatures throughout the space. Another is just high light bills, high utility costs, poor comfort. A lot of times, one of the key indicators is when it's right up at design conditions, 95 degrees outside or something like that. Your thermostat starts to climb a little higher than you got it set and that kind of stuff, because most of the ductwork issues cut that capacity of that system where you got a 4-ton system that's working like a 3-ton.
Mm. Yeah, and so you end up finding your house is working harder, or your systems that support the house are working harder, and that's why it's showing up in your electric bill.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really want to get aggressive, Kevin, you can actually crawl up in the attic and take a look at your ductwork.
That sounds crazy.
It's not a really fun thing to do, but it's an easy way to know if you've got a ductwork problem or not. I mean,
I think I'll call AJ Warren before I did that.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We got about a minute left. Do you have some final thoughts over there for us?
Yeah, there's been some new developments in ductwork in the past several years, and I wanted to give Dwayne a chance to talk about those.
Well, the new developments are like the treatments for the flexible duct where they won't grow mold inside of them, and some of them getting a little better R values on the insulation, but we're still not a real big fan of flexible duct. We can give everybody a much better performance system with metal duct, externally insulated. Most companies can't find the installers that are willing to do it because it's a lot harder work, but it's a lot better system. All our technicians carry magnet helix gauges, and before we'll even diagnose an AC problem and say your system's low on Freon or anything like that, we're going to figure out what the airflow is on your system first, because all those numbers are skewed unless you know how much air you're moving on that coil first.
Gentlemen, I appreciate both of y'all being with us, Lance Malone and Dwayne Ehlert. Dwayne is with AJ Warren Services. We already gave their website. Do you want to mention that Lance's website is ssdhvac.com. That's for Standard Supply. ssdhvac.com. Always glad having you on.
Than Kevin. Good to be here again.
Great
Thanks for joining us,
segment.
Dwayne.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We appreciate it. When we come back, more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. And this is The Price of Business.